Hello everyone and welcome to the ScratchRunning Podcast, the official podcast of competitive browser gaming, where our motto is, why move on when you can schmoove on? As always, I'm your host Keiron, and with me on the mic is my co-host, Ap Lord.
It's so quiet here. Where is everybody?
It's like the first episode all over again.
The first episode at least had like 4 people over the course of it somehow. But now it's just, I don't know.
It's just us.
Just the two of us. Okay.
Welcome to the studio.
I'm glad to be back.
It's so good to be back.
I guess this is something we've never had before, which is fitting for a finale of the SRCast season, with the possible SRCast animated contest coming up soon.
As it does.
We thought we'll give you one last episode, which somehow might also be the new first episode.
Yeah.
I will, if you want, Kieran, I'll explain how that makes sense for me.
Feel free to explain while I pour my Baja Mango Gem.
Oh, Mango Gem! I've tried that one too.
Nice.
Before we do that, let's give a little... No, okay, I don't know how much to say about it. Just, for me personally,
like mango.
Mango Gem, like, tasted similar to, wasn't it like gold something? Baja Gold!
Yeah, Baja Gold was the yellow one this year. I also have one of those because the event, the Summer of Baja Blast, ended in the USA.
Yep.
And the British candy stores finally got to import all the unsold stock. I had my first Baja Blast of the year during the Team Fun Splatfest in October.
Wow.
And this year I went back to the same places. They had 2 Baja Blasts left, and then a lot of Baja Gold and Mango Gem, which were just unsold limited editions.
Yep.
And it's kind of funny because they also had a lot of Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew when I went and bought it, because again, unsold stock.
Yep. Nobody
Obvious
buys that.
joke. Except Baja Gold and Mango Gem are actually good. Yeah, it tastes orange.
I think also a few months ago, which is crazy that I didn't talk about it on the SRCast yet, but here we are.
Yeah.
Also found a shop in Germany that imports and then sends them to you.
Delivers.
The all the American stuff. And
Nice.
I got Baja Blast, Baja Gold, I got Code Red, I got Voltage.
That's a good one.
I got so many. I think I sent you a picture of them too.
You did. Voltage is good.
I honestly we tried Baja Blast last, my girlfriend and I, because
Nice.
we wanted to save the best for last, and I'm honestly unsure if Code Red, I don't even if I don't like that one more than
honestly, I don't blame
Baja
you.
Blast.
Code Red is a pretty good flavor of Mountain Dew. See, guys, welcome to the ScratchRunning Podcast. The soda
This
segment
isn't the first episode.
Yeah, this isn't browser gaming, but the soda segment is actually a monthly tradition.
Yes,
we do have a soda segment nearly every episode.
No, I mean also because Clabs isn't here. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Clabs.
We have to continue the tradition until he can bless us with another actual soda
Yeah.
segment. I don't know. Soda is just something I wasn't
so
even realizing that I like so much, and I don't even drink that much of it. But it's more of a celebration thing for me now.
I actually think Clabs got me into flavored soda. I
Yes.
only ever have flavored sodas when I go out to town and buy them,
Yeah.
which happens every couple of months.
Day. No, okay.
Because I have my braces tightened every few months,
Yeah, okay, I see.
and I take the whole day off. And so
Brilliant.
I go to the orthodontist in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I go to the city centre.
Get that sweet carbonated. I don't
Dramamine,
know.
Mountain Dew, but also to go to the arcade and play Pump It Up.
Yep.
If you're new to this podcast, other things that I am interested in that aren't browser games is arcade rhythm games.
Yep, and I can see why. We have talked about
We've talked about it a few
myriad of
times.
why those are fun. But no, to kind of get back to what I teased at the start. I was thinking first of all, it's been so long since our first episode of the SRCast.
It's been so long since that first episode that we can kind of revisit what we talked about, or like what the actual topic of the episode was.
Absolutely, especially because, well, first of all, if you were to listen to, like, let's say somebody finds the SRCast, checks out, like, you know, episode 39 just came out, and they're like, I wouldn't want to start at episode 39, let's go back to 1. In that case, I would say that's the worst idea you could...
I always say that the first good SRCast episode is number 4.
I agree and very much.
And then from there, you can go in chronological order as you normally would.
The biggest problem in my opinion, is not even, like, well, the quality is still pretty bad, but it's also just that you have to listen to the whole thing in one sitting. Yeah. There's no pause. Like, there is a pause button, but it resets the entire thing.
It resets the whole thing. There is the yellow pause button, at least on my copy of Scratch. I don't know if yours has it, dear viewer, but my copy's just personalized.
Yep. But not everybody has that, so I can't expect everybody to, you know,
to just
listen through the whole thing in one sitting.
That's why we have it in segments.
Exactly. The segments were a big thing.
The history of the SRCast. We had the first episode, which was just a file. The next few episodes where we had segments, and then we added we added the ed menu, which had you work out cloud variables.
I mean, okay, the polls were one thing we added before those.
Oh yeah, the
that
polls
were
were
like
before
simple.
the ed menu. I forgot.
Yep. They weren't like a big thing to program, but then with the ed menu, I think I programmed a very simple version. Then we got
Clamps and Astro to make the ed menu good this season.
Yep.
And now, if you're watching the video or the Scratch project, you can see us like move up and down as we're talking. That we straight up didn't think that was possible at first.
Yeah, that's true. We had to find some way to convert audio into data.
As we say time and time again, nothing is easy on Scratch.
Nope. But as always, you find a way around it.
You find a way.
Here we are with all the new technology we have. Let's revisit what we are here for, and let's see
how did we get here.
How did we get here? Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SRCast.
Welcome.
I am Ap. I have made games before, and I guess I'm a big fan of pixel art, and I'm a big fan of I don't know, whatever else I can think of at the moment, but especially what I think of a lot is a game called Monster World, or like a universe where I create games for, and Taranga is the newest one of that I'm working on, which is based on Monster World, the preview version.
Yeah, Taranga is the big project. I'm Keiron, and I play Monster World.
And you play those games? No, there's you also play a bunch of other games. You were the guy who basically you invented ScratchRunning.
I did. I made the Super Fighter Tournament competitive scene in my school,
which is also a game I made.
Yeah, that's another game by our man Ap on scratch.mit.edu. But yeah, it was really only me that actually wanted to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I made the server, and then Joses found his way into the server, and we started actually talking about combos that you can do in SFT.
He was really interested in it. In it too.
Yeah, Joses is kind of a fighting game guy, and eventually he got you into the community, and we agreed that one day we were going to play Super Fighter Tournament online together. And then a few months later, we did.
Yep. Through luckily there's streaming ways on the internet.
Yeah, there's ways to do it.
Yeah, and then we actually played SFT, and at some point started this podcast randomly.
Yeah. One time in the voice call, Joseph's mic was broken, and you and I we just started making jokes about how it was a podcast.
Yep.
And Joseph was our listener.
And one thing led to another.
And then we decided, you know what? We should actually start a podcast.
And we had some of the knowledge, not all of it, to do it.
Yeah.
and I guess felt brave enough to upload something.
Uploading episode 1 of the SRCast took a lot of bravery.
I remember the time where we were, like, as Scratch Running, we were planning so many things, like SFT remakes and...
Oh yeah, we were going to do that.
Monster World wasn't even a thing, I think, at that point.
Yeah, Monster World wasn't even a thing. I'm still following you on Scratch. You're one of the first people I ever followed.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And I remember initially commenting on the first release of Monster World. Oh, this game's so fun. Lunara is a great character. I cannot wait to play more of this game. And then I did.
Times, man. Times.
I might genuinely have over 100 hours in Monster World, which is not something I can say about many other games.
I mean, Chirpy Reverie, which we're going to talk about later as little the projects we want to talk about segment.
I joined Scratch to play silly little video games, and video games keep me on this website.
For sure. When did you join Scratch? Let me actually check that right now, because
I made my Scratch account 8 years and a month ago.
What was your first favorited project? Let me check that right now. Card collection. The Letterland Enjoyer, and also all the Ultimate Game Creator projects, or some of them.
My second ever favorited project was UGC 5.
Yep.
We got UGC 5, For Gold Pirates by FaceOS, Griff Patch Bomberman.
Yeah, those are...
Scratch U8. This is a guy I thought I cared about.
Then we have...
And there it is, baby! SFT!
And soon after we found
Super
SFT.
Fighter Tournament, baby! The game that keeps me on this website.
Also, IKEA Simulator, shout out to that.
IKEA Simulator is a surprisingly good speed game.
That's amazing. So what got you into Scratch, actually? Now that we can open that topic again.
I remember at some point buying a book about how to teach kids programming, and obviously the first thing was Scratch.
Yes.
And since Scratch has a website, I made an account. And then I used it like once and then left for a good 4 to 6 years.
As we all do.
As we all do. It's not the chirpy reverie move on, it's more the move 10 steps move on.
Yep, pretty much. Make a spinning Scratch Cat that says meow after every loop.
I spinning Scratch Cat moved on, and then I Super Fighter Tournament came back. And that's how you end up as a Scratch teenager, when you find out that there are actually good projects on the website. One time my high school had us use Scratch 1.4 for some lesson 1 that we didn't really care about. But since I had the website, I did the assignment on Scratch too.
I don't think we ever even used Scratch in school. It was just a friend of mine that told me about it, that there was this thing on our PCs that people were usually just using it to play the meow sound to annoy the teacher in class.
That's valid. That's valid.
That's valid.
Can I get a meow in the comments?
And I don't know, at some point, because I was interested in making games and just didn't know how to do it, Scratch felt like a good way to do it. Scratch 1.4 definitely was not. Let me say that.
It's not as good as the Scratch we know and love.
As soon as I found the website, that's when
things got real.
Yeah, the floodgates opened, and I just found out about, I guess, it took a little bit of time. But I found out about all the people that were popular in the 1.4 days, like Swifty2 and Astro and Sprite Master,
Scratchers,
who we have now all talked to on this podcast, which is kind of cool. But from that point onwards, it was just spending time on Scratch on the website to find fun animations, to find other usually
people's projects
and some cool projects here and there, and outside of that, just coding some weird games that I thought were cool.
My current output on the website is mostly just I put some blocks together, they do things. That's the white background concept series.
Yep.
We also have 18 and 19, which are just spinning drawings of myself for my birthday.
That's always good.
And then ZXNM custom charts, that's actually a really good 4-key rhythm game engine.
Yeah. When I think back to the projects I made, what I did, something that I would recommend to a lot of people, is when you start out make like a lot of different small things.
Yeah.
Don't like focus on making the one big game. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
you
even
don't-
too early to make Monster World right now, like Taranga. But
That's kind of your chirpy reverie. It's not really the same because you know not to move on. Like you don't have to disappear from the website forever. You are gonna come back to play Super Fighter Tournament.
And I guess that's something we could talk about that I don't quite understand. That you're like saying, okay, I'm for sure leaving this place. Okay,
Yeah.
I never want. Okay, I guess they don't say it like that, but
Yeah. So for those of you who don't understand, when we say someone chirpy reverie moves on, it's a reference to the ending of my other favorite game on Scratch, where Chirpy the Penguin resets the universe, lets everyone die, and it's just a metaphor for the updater leaving Scratch and leaving his entire community behind, basically.
Yep. That's one
And
way
then
to
he
do
came
it.
back to make Breathing Simulator 2, proving that Scratch can still be useful for as a creative outlet and just a genuine hobby. You don't have to.
There we go.
If you the smaller of a deal you make about leaving the site, the less silly you're gonna look when you come back.
Yep.
That's why I've never left the website. So it doesn't come as a shock when I come out with a project like 19 or the 32nd episode of the ScratchRunning Podcast. It's just like, oh, cool, Keiron's alive. But except everyone knows I'm alive because I still like and star projects.
It might be like the more people you have that follow you and that like make a big deal out of you being on Scratch and not or like not being on Scratch, the more you may feel compelled to do something like that to tell people, okay, I'm gone for good.
I'm gone. Grr.
Yeah, like
Website
I don't know.
bad. That's basically what Reverie is. I play Reverie without the cutscenes, and with this simple addition, it has become the single best game on the website.
Like, I guess now we're at that topic now where
we've
like
segued to Chirpy Reverie, which is currently the game that just keeps me on the website.
right. We have played Trippy Reverie, like the online version of it that you said doesn't exist anymore. So if people want to look for it, don't.
Yeah, rest in peace. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
It was good. That one showed me that we have like that game has so much mechanical stuff to offer. And where else would you find more of that than in the mods Keiron plays and in the speedrunning he participates in, which he could tell you all about now. Not
only is there the speedrunning community for the base game, there's also challenges like the X button challenge, which have forced us to find new movement techs as we go. There's also various mods, or I'm gonna say ROM hacks of the game, even though it's not really a ROM. But to me, a ROM hack is specifically a mod of a platformer that replaces the entire base game with something new.
Yep.
I did make my own hack just to teach myself how to mod Reverie.
Yeah.
The first act of the project, it's called Pink Paint Pavement. It's like 6 screens. The first one teaches you how to dash jump. The second one teaches you how to super spin jump. Third is a slide hop. Fourth is a DDJ. 5 and 6 are just some platforming challenges. But where it ramps up is Act 2.
Oh.
Act 2 is possibly the hardest level in a Reverie mod. I'm gonna say it. All of the cool finds that speedrunners have found that weren't taught in the game have been compiled into the second act of the ROM hack. So, for example, you've seen the blue blocks in Reverie, right?
Yeah.
Where you hit it and it sends you backwards and the block forwards.
Yeah.
If you stand right next to the blue block or the red block and dash backwards, it can send you and the block forwards.
Oh. Chirpy's moveset is pretty, and even if it's not like, if all those extra moves you're talking about weren't intentional, they are still it's not a bug, it's a feature in this.
It's a feature. One of the things that I would definitely not want to be patched out is the ceiling diagonal dash jump.
Is that where you clip through it?
I think so. It's a trick that I actually found and implemented in my first run of Persister's Path.
So in those cases, let me ask you directly: do you think if in a game there is a bug that, I'm gonna call it a bug because it's exactly that.
It is a bug.
Nobody was intending.
It wasn't intended.
Yeah.
But if it breaks the game in a way that's fun, keep it.
I think
and
I can see that.
If you really want to be a cool guy, teach the player how to do it.
But clipping through walls does not seem like a very intuitive thing.
Yeah,
I would say.
moss walls are actually just broken. There is a level in Pavement Act 2 where you have to intentionally clip through 2 moss walls. I attempt to teach the player how to do the clip, but there's no way to fit enough text to explain it on the screen.
Yeah. See, I think that's the point at which something looks more like a bug instead of a feature.
Yeah, that is definitely a bug. While we are approaching the halfway mark of the episode, I do want to just very quickly mention that on the final screen of Pink Paint Pavement, there is a secret route at the start of the room that you actually have to do frame perfect max height diagonal dash jumps to get up to.
So if anybody wants to try that, give Keiron's mod a whirl and
give it a whirl. It is a max height DDJ into 2 max height ceiling DDJs.
Dash jump.
Diagonal. It's supposed to be
diagonal
a diagonal dash jump.
You just said it. My brain was like, he always just said DDJ. So what was it again?
Is it the double dash jump?
Yeah.
Also, turn up his jump off. It makes the diagonal dash jump easier. That is all I want to say. Good night.
So that's
it makes the entire game easier.
Chirpy Reverie.
Chirpy the Penguin Reverie, everybody. Go play it.
If you get into the nitty gritty stuff, you want to see more of that. Keiron has a bunch of that.
I post that on my personal channel, which is not ScratchRunning.
Yeah, and if you want to watch us, I think it was Keiron, and Quite,
and
playing
Quite, the former ScratchRunner,
and Keiron teaching us some of his sick moves. You can also watch that.
That was the after show for episode 39.
Yep.
If you're new to the podcast, an after show comes out after every episode.
Yep.
Which patrons actually get early access to.
Which is interesting, but still.
Yeah, £1 a month, I do extra vids.
There we go.
So speaking of SRCast, the ScratchRunning Podcast Q&A box, where I take your hot takes, your worst questions, and I answer the good ones. Our first good question is from Pickle Powder, who asks, who has the highest amount of epic wins on the podcast?
Ain't that a good question?
Ain't that a good question?
Now, tell me, Keiron, are epic wins... What qualifies as an epic win? Let's get the most epic win of all. The number 1 victory royale, Keiron. How many number 1 victory royales do you have under your belt?
In Fortnite, none. In Nintendo Switch Sports Bowling, many.
In Fortnite, I also have none. So we're
about even.
We're even on that.
I think out of anyone here, I'm the gamer.
I think so too. Let's get another popular game out there. I think we've.
Was it?
I was gonna say Fall Guys, but we also have the same amount of crowns. I think there.
Yeah, we already. I think I might have more crowns actually.
More crowns, but the question is, did you get them through wins or did you get them through?
I got the dubs.
Okay. I only won once, I think, in Fall Guys. So you're the gamer in that regard.
I think we're both gamers because we both, as a team, beat Asher too.
Oh yes, that's true. Asher had Smasher.
It took us 16 hours. Wait, no, it took us 8 hours. It was 8 episodes.
Yep. Another great game.
It's a good game.
Great Dark Nubs that you can check out. So Pickle Powder, who has the highest amount of epic wins?
I think it's me.
I think it's Keiron. I gotta give it to Keiron here. Even though Arctic Animator said this has got to be Apflord, there is no competition. I'm sorry, sir.
There is a competition.
There is competition.
This is competitive browser gaming after all.
Oh, now the question is, who of us has won in Super Fighter Tournament more? I think it's still Keiron.
Maybe, I think against other people, it's probably me.
Yeah.
Because, I'm going to be real, my friends didn't even want to play the game, probably.
Maybe the after show for this one really has to be Super Fighter Tournament.
Super Fighter Tournament, again.
Who knows?
Who knows?
To find this out. And if you want to find out too, be sure to check
it's
out
already,
whatever.
Hey, patrons, you guys know what it is.
Yeah.
You guys know what we actually decided on.
That's true. Another question that I found interesting, the most important question, Arakoi says, what mob did you vote for in the Minecraft Live 2022 and why? Emphasis on why if you voted for the Tough Golem.
I did not.
You did not vote?
I didn't vote.
Just didn't care or didn't have the time?
I didn't really mind which one got in the game.
Okay. It was the, was it called the Sniffer in the end?
I think so.
It's the guy that, like, the little, I don't know, the ancient thing that...
The creature.
Is it called Tortura, the Pokemon? It kind of reminds me of that.
I think his name is, I think his name is Terraria.
Very cool.
Now that's a good game.
I definitely voted for that one, and I think that one just had, or just looked like it had the most potential. I think the internet as a whole saw that, which is why it won in the end.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Tough Golem really didn't seem that interesting to me.
Tough Golem.
Just
Tough isn't even that good of a block.
There we go. And it just displays an item. Why don't they just give us, I don't know.
Just give us item frame 2.
Yep. There we go. Do you have another question you wanna answer, Karen?
What is your opinion on garlic?
Well, what is your opinion on garlic?
It's good.
Do you have a garlic story where you put like garlic on something that other people definitely would not put on, like put garlic on?
I don't really know. I don't really cook, but I do love garlic bread. I could really go for garlic bread right now, not gonna lie.
Garlic bread is pretty great, man.
Garlic bread. I could go for a slice of sushi. I could really go for a slice of sushi, Glingy.
I mean, garlic is great. I do cook ever since I moved out. It's got to be done. And garlic is like might just be the magic ingredient.
Honestly, garlic
that everybody uses, of course, but
you can just use as much of it as you want.
I'm not so sure about that, but
it definitely makes anything better.
Oh, I remember I got a pizza once.
Nice.
And I wanted extra garlic on it, and they took my word for it. They delivered. I think I smelled of garlic for like 2 days after that.
Now, you know what goes hard?
Not good.
The garlic salt that they put on the crust of the Pizza Hut pizza.
Oh, is that a thing?
Garlic salt is real, and it goes so hard.
I haven't been to Pizza Hut in years, man.
I haven't been to Pizza Hut because delivery's just easier, but Pizza Hut is real, and I want to go to one.
We have a lot of Domino's over here. They kind of like took over.
Yeah. Domino's here is just delivery. I've never seen a walk-in Domino's. No. But Pizza Hut is real.
Wait, you don't have like Domino's shops?
Domino's exists. There is the shop, but it's only takeout. But Pizza Hut is real, and I want to go back.
Yeah. No, I don't.
I want to go to a Pizza Hut.
Would you rather have fast food burgers or fast food pizza if you were to order?
I think if I'm ordering out, I'd probably get chicken strips from a local takeout. That's what I do at work.
That was not part of the... Yes.
Welcome to the ScratchRunning Podcast.
Yep, that's right. No, so garlic, pretty great.
Yeah, garlic, good.
While we're at the like questions and answers, we actually asked the people a question last time.
Yeah.
Which was during the Halloween episode, which is why we've got like a little bit of spook left in us here.
It's just a little bit of spooky energy.
Yes. We asked what was the spookiest thing that happened to people. Um, one person in particular had something directly, like something that had directly to do with the SRCast. How do you spell this?
It's Galesta. The one is an
Galasta. There we go.
Yeah.
But the L is a 1. I kid you not, when Keiron started to say the recording has now stopped, the lights in my room started flickering on and off. Quite literally the spookiest thing that has ever happened to me.
The recording has now stopped. The air is getting colder around you. The twins have awoken.
This is going to be a horrible
Wait, was
night.
was that the right mech boss?
I think no. Wait, the air is getting colder around you. Might be Skeletron Prime.
Okay, true.
This
I
is
love
going to be a
Terraria!
terrible night. Is the twins, and you feel vibrations from deep below. Is
Destroyer.
I think, but they changed it at some point.
They changed it
There was
sometimes.
another one. Keiron, the recording has now stopped. Has more power than you might think it has.
Hey, first I stop your recording.
Then I stop your breathing.
Then I stop you.
Then I stop you. Oh no.
This is how I felt designing Pink Paint Pavement. I just wanted to make a screen that was harder than anything else.
There we go.
And I think I succeeded.
You did stop
Someone
a lot
actually-
of people from playing
yeah.
that game, probably.
Someone actually commented on the project right before we were going to start recording.
Yeah.
My boy Flaming Games said that was very fun. I liked the part where you needed to push the red block up and it keeps getting more difficult. The backdash, oh yeah, you can chain backdashes into red blocks and you could just ride the red block forever.
Are we back to Chirpy Reverie now, huh?
I'm reverie just because I'm reading this comment.
No, that's true. That's true.
I learned a lot of
comment.
speedrun techniques from that. That was the intention. Everything in there was found by speedrunners to use in the run.
Mm-hmm.
That last level, though, that took 45 minutes and 600 deaths. It was very satisfying when I completed that.
Nice comment.
Yeah. So someone who is not in the Reverie speedrunning community found the project and actually beat Pink Paint Pavement Act 2. And honestly,
Was that the first person that commented that they beat it?
That's the first person that commented that they've beaten it. Bird6147 has also beaten Pavement.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the speedrunning community and actually has a time that's like 6 frames faster than mine in any percent.
Wow. Are you gonna keep making more content in that regard?
I might end up making more Chirpy the Reverie mods.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's just fun. It's like Mario Maker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's probably not going to be Pink Paint Pavement Act 3 unless it's in a similar vein of you need the paint to show you how to beat the level. Because that's why it's paint. It's just like the ground is grey and then the highlights are pink.
Speaking of Mario Maker, is anything happening in that game at all anymore?
No.
Is the game is not getting any updates or like planning to have any updates?
The
right?
game doesn't get updates, but it does get new levels.
Yeah, because people, the game kind
Yeah.
of carries itself in that regard.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
cool.
user generated.
It's kind of Scratch.
2.
Scratch also does not update their programming language, so that's good.
Hey!
That's my
Hey, that's fine by us, as long as they don't remove the workarounds that we've been using this whole time.
that's my monthly stab at scratch.mit.edu. There you go.
Hey!
Give us the freaking Scratch Lab blocks.
Give us those Scratch
Scratch
Labs.
I don't know what's happening there, but they were great and they worked. Why
They did
can we
work.
not just have them? What's the
Increase-
problem?
They need to fix how they manage RAM
Yeah.
or browser cache because, and I'm gonna Reverie again. If
That's fine.
your computer has 8 gigabytes of RAM or the browser cache is otherwise full, you
Let me
can't
tell you, that's still not enough.
yeah, you
For
you cannot beat the game any percent.
It's amazing.
Yeah, even if you completely clear your cache, if you have 8 gigs RAM, it crashes on static mind.
In general, just like to not just talk about Chirpy Reverie, Scratch has a problem with like handling its memory usage. So people were able to, or
Yeah,
some projects took like 16 gigs.
yeah. I
Googled
googled RAM crash
Yep.
Scratch, And I got this thread that I think this is the Rickroll in Scratch. 4,200 assets. And it uses... Oh, if your computer has less than 32 gigs of RAM, exit this page immediately. Scratch 3.0 currently has a severe memory usage issue. That's from the description of the project. I'm scared to even try to load it.
I will not. I don't.
I have exactly 32 gigs RAM. I am currently the only person who can play OlliX.
So that's something that should probably get fixed.
Yeah. That needs fixing. Scratch.
That as well as Scratch having a hard limit on, how big your Scratch project.
Oh yeah, the JSON limit. That needs to go.
So yeah, we've kind of gone on a tangent here and there, but that's completely fine. That's what we do on this ScratchRunning podcast. Have you seen any other projects that you feel like shouting out?
Guys, the updater came back. He said he was gonna leave and then he didn't. This is just like when Wazo released the Scratch Saga 3, and then a few months later posted Pringled.
And nothing came of that either.
I mean, I'm not following him because he left. What's he gonna do? Upload?
Well.
Breathing Simulator 2 is actually a really deep game. There are 42 endings. It's one of the biggest choose your own adventure simulators on the website.
Maybe we should play that sometime.
Yeah, it took me an hour to get through all the endings, and that's with some people's guidance.
Dang.
It's a big game.
Is it a good game? Or is it, as N Kirby 1 asks us, a game so bad it's good?
Welcome to Scratch.
Where all games are so bad they're good. It's not true. I wonder what game would qualify as so bad it's good. I think QWOP. If anybody knows QWOP. Yeah.
QWOP. Yeah, that game is bad on purpose. That's just right. Funny to control.
Basically, you control a man running, but you control his legs like with the buttons Q, W, O, and P. You each control like his lower leg and his upper leg of each leg, and so you kind of have to figure out, or I think it's silly. You have to figure out how humans walk and like press the things in the right order and see how far you make it.
I think the pattern in general goes QOWP.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
But, yeah.
Quite amazing, honestly, then, that our brain can just play QWOP by itself all the time.
You can just play QWOP.
Our brain does all of that. It even plays the same thing with our arms while we're doing some crazy stuff. Do you ever think of that?
Sometimes.
How crazy is it that our brains
are doing a lot of things. Your brain is probably doing even more processes than mine.
Whoa.
Dude.
I don't know. It's like it baffles me sometimes how I mean, definitely not, by the way, to what you just said. Definitely not when I'm playing rhythm games. Your brain is doing a lot more than mine is.
I can read. I have one strength, and that is reading charts.
And with that,
I
think it might be
time to end the episode. It's just us.
Yes, and if you want to hear more of us ramble in the future, the SRCast is kind of a thing where, as you might have seen here, we like to talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Always like to circle back somehow to Scratch and what is going on Scratch, or with projects we shared or projects we liked. But then sometimes we just end up talking about soda or arguing about pasta, or
our soda segments are iconic.
And also, at the end of the year, which is something I'm always excited for, it's time when people somehow find us funny enough to animate
some of our favorite clips. Honestly, SRCast Animated, kind of a great way to get into Scratch running. Wait, you know how you can make clips on YouTube? I think we have some pretty banger points in some of the videos. We might end up with SRCast Animated of the Azure series or the after shows.
Maybe we should branch out to that at some point. But in order to do that, we might need more people on YouTube. So if you have a YouTube, channel.
Yeah,
or,
feel free
an
to
account.
subscribe to ScratchRunning. The content is not for everyone, but it is definitely for gamers.
For gamers, for people who enjoy this, it might also be.
It might even be for you.
So if you wanna check that out, do it. And until then, I guess it's just time to say thank you for listening and check out the stuff we've talked about if you are interested in it or
Check
whatever
it out.
else we talked about.
Yeah. See you the next time.
We're not gonna explain that one again.
No, we're not explaining see you the next time. Just see the next time. The recording has now stopped.
Sure has.